Shots cannon!
Opening the hood. Gravity. Hello everybody, good day to you and welcome back. Glad you guys are here. I know, I'm super glad to be here. This video is the part 2 of a 2006 Dodge Charger with a 5.7 liter Hemi V8 automatic transmission. Customer stated that the vehicle will stall and die out after refueling and sometimes after coasting at highway speeds. In the last video, we found out that the fuel tank had been replaced, the evap system purge valve had been replaced, the evap system lines had been replaced, the evap vent control solenoid had been replaced, and yet still the vehicle seems to stall after fueling, which was part of a recall and even part of an NTSB investigation regarding this particular symptom. It has been at the dealership. It has been at several other independent shops. As you can see, many parts have been installed on this vehicle, and yet the symptom still remains. So again, this is diagnostic video number 2 as we attempt to diagnose and figure out what is going on with this. Keep in mind, back in video number 1, we were not able to fully recreate the customer's concern. So all that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Let's get to the video. I've got the engine running again. Troy's gonna help me out. The fuel cap is on. I have this Dorman evap vent solenoid reconnected right here. See that guy? Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna actuate that with the scan tool, and I'm gonna smoke test it just to see if it actually seals and flows. I don't know, something's just telling me that it's that part and not the fuel tank, because I just don't see the fuel tank doing it. So we have to do this with the engine running. So what we're gonna do, Troy's gonna do this, so we're gonna go check that the solenoid, the vent valve. So we're gonna have it on flow. So right now that vent valve should be flowing, but first I wanna make sure I've got the right thing selected. So Troy, select block in a minute and, normal. Just switch between flow and block real fast, and I'm gonna go listen to that solenoid and see if it's actually clicking or not. Okay. And then I'll conduct my version of this test. So let's see what we get. Yeah, go ahead. Do it again. Okay, that's, all right, now that was happening here, which tells me that the menu I'm in is not on this valve right here. So that must have been the purge solenoid actuating. Let's try a different menu. All right, so we're scrolling through the menus, and we had purge solenoid down here. That's the one up front. I've been trying to find vapor solenoid, and I can't find vapor solenoid, or vent valve rather. Okay, so I think we found it. Earlier, I was actuating the purge solenoid, and that's the one up front in the engine. We were trying to find what I've been calling the vent solenoid, which is the one in the wheel well on the other side that we took apart. And it appears that NVLD solenoid is what I've been calling the vent solenoid. According to Chrysler Land, that stands for Natural Vacuum Leak Detection Solenoid. And I hit the wrong menu by accident. So we're gonna actuate the NVLD option. I'm gonna go back and listen to that valve and see if that thing is opening or closing. So Mr. Troy, please do the honors. Just switch this thing from, looks like on, off, on, off. Just keep switching it back and forth. I wanna listen for the actuator to click, okay? Okay. Begin switching now, sir.
Off. On. Off. On.
Can you guys hear that? Yep. All right, stand by for just a second. Now that we know we can actuate that solenoid there, that valve, let's throw some smoke into it, make sure it seals. Because it's new, doesn't mean that it's good. All right, you should be on. Turn it on. Turn it off. Turn it on. Really? It's not sealing. That's interesting. Okay, this is our issue right here. Yeah, we just caught that one. Smoke test revealed once this thing was closed and opened, there's no change of state. So this vent valve is always, or NVLD solenoid, is always allowing air to go in, and I'm pretty sure that that's not supposed to do that, because having commanded it closed, it should be closing, and oops, and it is not. I'm gonna get another one of these. Maybe, I knew I was overthinking this. This thing's got to be the issue here. Come off. Oh, I can't do it one-handed. Let's go to our computerizer in here and see if we cannot locate this this vent valve slash NVLD solenoid. Turn on, computerizer. All right, so we are in the job for the Chrysler Dodge Charger RT. Okay, we're in the right job. I've got a blank line right here, so let's add a part. And we're gonna go into Parts Tech. That's an integrated website that shops all the vendors. And we're gonna do NVLD solenoid. Starter solenoid? Nope, it does not even recognize NVLD. How about vent? Let's try vent solenoid. Vapor canister vent solenoid. That's what I thought it was called too. But Chrysler said it was something else. Nothing. Okay. Let's try the part number. Check the part number, check the part number. What do we have here? Doorman number 310-500. Sure. Let's try that one. 310-500. Do we have? There's one. Found it. Okay, so that thing's available and it's local. I'm gonna order that, and we're gonna see if we repeat the same test. We're gonna see if this one will seal and does not seal. Adding to cart. Submitting quote. Okay, the quote is submitted. Let's continue on here. Now I need to place the order. Save that. See how it's quoted right here? Okay, click on quote and submit order. Blah, blah, blah. Continue with order. And now the part is ordered. All right. Okay, I'm reaching back in. Let's try to prove this. Starting the engine. Let's try to prove this while that part is en route and on the way here. Alrighty, I have acquired the replacement unit. So what I want to do here is we're gonna connect this up in the same fashion using the smoke tool, and we're gonna see if we can command this valve to open and close and seal. Most importantly, it needs to seal. Let's pull that, come here, pull that guy off. I guess I'll just have to do this with two hands. There we go. Same position, there we go. Troy's in the background making weird noises. Okay, so just like before, we're just gonna plug her in, kick that closed. Let's fire up the smoke machine one more time. We'll plug it in. It should be in its naturally closed position right now, so it should not leak once the smoke is applied to one of those ports. Okie doke, smoke machine is powered back on. It should be re-smoking any moment now. Come on. There we go, got it. Okay, we have some smoke coming, you can't see. We've got some smoke coming out. Let's plug that back into the valve. Now voila, see that right there? It is smoking. I'm gonna go back into the cabin. We're gonna close that valve and then see what it does. Loud noises. Turn it off. Ah, turn it on. It's working. Turn it off.
Off.
Turn it on.
On.
All right, I'll take that. That is sufficient. All right, sir. Thank you very much.
No.
Good. Okay, so that's pretty solid evidence to me that something's going on with this particular valve. We saw as we opened and closed this one, the leak was consistent. Let's see if we can't open this thing up and see what's going on inside of it. There appears to be a cap right here. Let's see what this thing does. Ooh, it is going to come open. Interesting. We have electrical contacts, some sort. That's weird. So that thing seems to move, and it's going to act on this diaphragm. Okay, I see. There's our valve. Oh, look. It sticks closed or open. See that? It's not supposed to do that. Yep, now it's working. Look at that. This valve has been sticking, and this seal right here does not look very great. Perhaps it's been deteriorated with the presence of gasoline from the prior event when the fuel tank was maybe this thing had a fuel tank issue. It got fuel in here, and that seems to have messed up the seal on that little valve, or the second side of the valve. Let's open up this one real fast and take a peek inside and see if it's got a similar diaphragm in it or not. Seems like it goes back together easy enough. Let's see if I can get this guy to come apart. It's just got a series of little tabs here. There we go. Okay, similar design. Okay, we see some of the fluid from the smoke. That valve is not sticking. That little seal business right there is kind of wavy. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that or not. It doesn't seem so, because that's the seal between the two sides here. What if there's an issue with that little seal business? All right. Okay, so I've got the smoke machine connected to the new unit, and it is sealed off rather nicely. So I guess that wavy business in the middle is okay. And this thing is sealing beautifully. It's returning to where it's supposed to be. This confirms we have a faulty, what do they call it, NVLD? I'm gonna call it a vent solenoid. We got a faulty vent solenoid here. So let's get this new one installed, and I'll go out and do some more test drives and see if we can't at least feel that shuttery business. I think we're on to something. All right, so I've got confidence enough to move on to replace that valve. I have already installed it on the bracket that is on the canister. Let's get this thing put back up into its position here, and we'll bolt this thing in. Do I have it the right way? No, it's upside down. Flip it good. There's a stud up at the top of the wheel well. One singular 10mm fastener. Let's fasten that. I've also re-zip tied that little vent filter up there because the way we found it was ugly and I didn't like it. So I made it more better or electrical connector lock. That's in, and now we need to get the hose. How did this hose go? It went like this. Like this. There we go. Under and in. Yeah, it goes just like that. Let me get this guy connected and snapped on. Bless you. Let's see. There's a clip for it there. Connects to that hose there, to the tank, and then this, I'm assuming it's just going to pass through and clip on, like so. There we go. All right, that's good. Okay, this is reinstalled. I think I'm done for now. It's in today. Only a series of test drives, and a little bit of time is going to determine if this is going to work or not. We have a full tank of fuel. Okay, wheel liner going back in. These are easier to take out than they are to put in. They're kind of, well, they're hard to do. Got to get them at an angle. All the way up. Here we go. Start getting the clips connected and clipped in, and we'll toss the wheel back on. Click. Okay. All that good stuff is in. Fender well's on. Let's toss the wheel on next. Poof, we've time traveled. The wheel is on. Prices are coming down. All the way down. Let's take this out for one more quick spin and then call it a day. That's the camera. All right, climbing back in. One more quick trip over the bridge and down the road. Let's see if we can at least feel the shutter or absence of the shutter. I want to feel the absence of the shutter. But first, we need to turn off that check engine light. We turned that on by having the key on with that solenoid valve disconnected. Yeah, that one, the NVLD solenoid, that's the one. So let's go to codes real quick and just verify that that is accurate. I may have had the purge, but yeah, evac canister vent valve circuit high. So high meaning there's no return voltage, there's no grounding to it. That's because we had it unplugged. No worries. We will just clear that and shut it off, and that will be the end of that trouble code. Good night, trouble code. Waiting. Conditions not correct. That's key off. Key on, engine off to clear codes. Clear them now. Yes, we're sure. Hooray, fault code's cleared. Restarting the engine. No more checking engine light. All right, let's roll out and get out of here. One more test drive. We need to get some speed up and then sit and stop and see if we feel that shudder that we were feeling prior. Honks for safety. That's to alert pedestrians that a vehicle is approaching. Running a yellow light. It's okay, it's Florida. All right, we're clear. Let's roll. More speed. Maximum horsepowers. All right, we've had a long decel from speed. We're gonna go ahead and pull over where we stopped before the first time. We're just gonna stop, pretend we're at a red light or something, and see if this thing does that shuddery stalling little business that it did. So I choose this spot right here. It's a good spot. We'll just park it right here for now. Survey says. So far, so good. Okay, so while I'm waiting, it's been a few minutes. I haven't felt any of the shuddering or stalling, which is good. I've re-entered the purge vapor test, and I'm gonna go ahead and flow the vent valve. Take a look at those fuel trims. See that? So it's responding. Let's go ahead and block it. We're now blocking. Look at those fuel trims. It's responding. Yeah, those are the short terms and bank 1, bank 2 short terms. So it's doing what it's supposed to be doing here. Let's go to normal. That's me releasing control, and now they're restabilizing to where they feel like being. Okay, this is good. We've seemed to have made some progress here. All right, guys. Well, no pun intended. We have discovered the smoking gun. I'm flipping the U-turn, driving through the grass one more time. We're gonna head back to the shop and call it a day. This is gonna get another test drive or two tomorrow at some point, but I do believe that this is gonna solve the problem. I found a problem. We proved that the problem was the problem, and after the dissection of the component, seeing as how that little valve thing seemed to have intermittently been sticking, that could be why it was so difficult to track this down or track that thing down, because sometimes it was doing it and sometimes it wasn't. And I can get how folks were overlooking that valve simply because it had already been changed. And yeah, you know, I did it myself. I fell victim to the if it's new, that doesn't mean it's good syndrome. I figured it was good. So I only can speculate that they had replaced the valve first, and this vehicle suffered the fuel tank condition where the fuel tank valve inside was sticking, and then allowing fuel to be drawn into the purge system. If that's the case and they changed the valve with a faulty fuel tank, then the faulty fuel tank could have contaminated the replacement valve and caused some damage there as well. Again, that's all speculation. I don't know. I can't prove it. What I can prove is what we saw, that the valve was not sealing and was not closing, yet the replacement valve was sealing and closing. So that's good enough for me. We found a fault, and the nature of that fault very well could have been and probably was responsible for the intermittent stalling after a fuel tank fill up issue that was described. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out. I'll do that as always by thanking each and every one of you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, you know the drill by now. Let me know about that by tapping that like button down below. Drop me some comments in the comment section also down below, and most importantly, do not forget to have yourselves a great day. See you guys later. End of transmission, end of Doge, end of video, end of day. Sayonara. And of course, finalize powering down. Goodbye, Doge.